So let's get into chapter 2 of You Were Born Rich. How much is enough? I'm Karen Brook, leading your reading discussion today. Most people think that they want more money than they really do, and they settle for a lot less than they could get. For you to get this prosperity concept into high gear, you must be specific. Exactly how much money do you want? Remember, you are working with your subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind does not think. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. So for you to say, I want lots of money, it isn't good enough, because no one, least of all the subconscious mind, knows what lotsa is. I strongly recommend that you get very serious about this chapter, because the idea it contains could literally change your life. But understand that thinking by itself is not enough. You must move into action. There are certain things you must do, and the first one is to decide how much money you want. Now, if you need help with this, just comment on the thread below. I need help setting my money goals, or send me the PDF on money goals. I have actually created a 5 things you must know before you set your money goals PDF to really help you identify exactly how much money you need. So just a little side note, I'll mention it again for those that are joining us or continue to join us. But you can just comment a note on the thread and we'll make sure you get the link to download that free PDF. For you to answer this question, it would probably be a good idea for you to decide what you want the money for. But to simply say, I want the money to live on, is not good enough. You should realize our society is structured in a way that the government will keep you. In fact, in most places, they even mail a check to you. You can sit at home and still receive a living wage. At this point, you're probably saying to yourself, oh yes, I know that, but I want to live better than that. Well, let's get specific. How much better? Bearing in mind that this kind of exercise is going to require some serious planning on your part, get out a sheet of paper and draw up a list of all the things or activities that you plan to spend the money on over the course of the next year. To assist you in getting started with your list, I've outlined several categories below: food, rent, mortgage, clothes, car, utilities, education, vacation, recreation, insurance, and savings. And again, if you comment on this thread, the PDF document that I've created has got all of this template already set out for you. It's got the questions you need to ask yourself about how you want to live, and it gives you the process to identify how much that is going to cost you and then set some really powerful money goals. So comment on the thread and we'll make sure you get the link to download that PDF. Understandably, these are just a few of the many possibilities. So keep working on your own list until it is complete. And remember, you do not fill in the amounts you are now spending. Rather, you take each item on the list, visualize how you want to live, and then fill in the amount of money it will cost you to do so. For example, you might only go out to a nice restaurant to dine on very special occasions, but you might visualize yourself spending a very enjoyable evening out for dinner once a week, where the service is excellent, the food is even better, and the environment is fit for royalty. How much would that cost? That is the figure you're looking for. You could be driving a car that is getting old and is showing signs of rust, but you might visualize yourself driving a brand new car of your choice that you trade every year or two. How much would that cost? Remember, you do not have a contract to live forever, nor is this a practice run. I'm going to repeat that. You do not have a contract to live forever, and this life, your life today, is not a practice run. This is your life, and you should be enjoying it to the fullest extent humanly possible. Therefore, you should have the amount of money you need to provide the things you want to live the way you choose to live. Let me caution you, it would not be unusual for your mind to be playing tricks on you at this point. You could be thinking, this is really crazy. I'm never going to have the money to live the way this book suggests. I want to remind you, however, that there are many people who do have enough money to live the way this book suggests, and they weren't born with it, and no one left it to them. They were born rich in the sense of having the God-given potential to succeed, just like everyone is. But like most people, they were at one time short of money. Understand that you too can succeed, and you will, if you will do what this book suggests. As I am writing this, I feel compelled to digress for a few lines to remind you that you have great resources of talent and ability locked up within you, just waiting to be expressed. In this vein, I can vividly recall listening to a tape a number of years ago that Earl Nightingale made on attitude. Bob worked with Earl Nightingale, actually, for quite a long time. I must have listened to that tape literally hundreds of times, and there was a part on it where he said, "Now, right here we come to a rather strange fact. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can reach, and yet for some equally strange reason, we think others can do things that we cannot." Earl went on to say, "I want you to know that that is not true. You do have deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you, and you can have the things you want." I wouldn't even want to speculate on how many times I heard that section without really understanding what he meant. And then one day I heard it, and every cell in my brain seemed to resonate with the truth of what he said. I suddenly realized what he was driving at, and I knew deep down inside me, if they can do it, so can I, if I am willing to pay the price. Please understand you too can do it, because what Earl had to say is as true of you as it is of me. But part of the price for you is to figure out how much is enough. Don't just pull a figure out of the sky, do it right, because when you're finished, you will be glad you did. Moreover, this exercise will also help you to develop a more disciplined mind. At this point, you might be thinking this section doesn't even concern you because you're already too deeply in debt to start accumulating a sizable amount of money. But you'll be happy to know we have a great idea which will help you deal with that problem as well. Furthermore, you'll be delighted to know that in many situations, and yours may be one of them, a person can become wealthy even if she or he never earns any more money than what they are earning currently. It's a pretty cool idea, isn't it? That thought alone should give you encouragement you need to keep reading. By now, you should have completed your list and arrived at a figure. So take pen to paper and write that number down in big, bold figures. Now clear your mind of that idea and move on with me to another very important idea. Realize that although this idea might not apply specifically to you, at least at the present time, it certainly will apply to many readers. Moreover, even if it does not apply to your particular situation, it is worth thinking through anyway, because you will certainly have many friends and associates it does apply to, and you'll be able to share it with them. I'm going to explain this idea to you as if you were a married person with a family to support and you are either the sole breadwinner or an important contributor. Now, one of the principal reasons for wanting the amount of money you desire is to provide for your family and not just in an adequate manner. After all, you want them to live life to the fullest. Realize, therefore, that as long as you live and are able to follow the plan in this book, you will be able to do what you want with respect to your family. However, if you will really stop and think about it, you will very likely agree that you would want your family to live the good life, even if you are suddenly removed from the picture, wouldn't you? Jokingly, you might say, "No, who cares if I'm gone?" But this is not a joking matter. This is a very serious matter. Of course you care. I know it, and so do you. Now, if you're alive and healthy, you will create the wealth for your estate. But if you die or are permanently disabled, well, our society has taken care of that situation as well. We have life insurance and we have disability insurance. But let's get back to your thinking again. You might be saying to yourself, life insurance, what a ripoff. This guy, Bob Proctor, really doesn't know where he is coming from. Well, let me tell you that when it comes to life insurance, I believe I can claim to be an authority of sorts. for I have conducted seminars for the insurance industry for almost 10 years, and I have had close to 50,000 people from that industry go through my seminars. Therefore, I can assure you that when I say approximately 95% of the people whom you talk to are almost completely ignorant when it comes to the subject of insurance, and I am not talking through my hat. Granted, many of these people hold important positions in business and industry, in government and in the professions, and because of their positions, it would be very easy to just assume they know of whence they speak. But the sad fact of the matter is, many of them are either badly misinformed or completely uninformed when it comes to the important subject of life insurance. Understand this, there is no way to replace your income and create a certain and instant estate other than life insurance. And statistics indicate that although most people are insured, the vast majority of people, at least 90%, are dangerously uninsured. That is to say, when they die, most people leave behind only enough money to pay for their funeral and possibly enough money to cover their family's living expenses for 1 year. The unfortunate part is that for a relatively small sum of money, these people could have had their financial affairs set up in such a way that if something did happen to them, their financial goals would be reached by their families automatically. Since this book is designed to help you reach a substantial financial goal, I felt duty-bound to include the information of life insurance. The book would not be complete without it. Keep in mind there are only two ways to earn money: people at work and money at work. You'll be happy to know the remainder of this book is designed for the person who is going to live. Bloom where you were planted. Start now. When do you start to live this good life? I want to digress back one thing. You will be happy to know the remainder of this book is designed for the person who is going to live. I think that's a really powerful sentence. Are you going to choose to really live or just continue existing? Because at the moment, you're probably just existing. You're a product of your mental programming, of your paradigms. You're a creature of habit. And you have to actually make that choice to live, to actually earn more money, to grow as a person, to have more freedom, to live the life that you've been designed to live. And I can help you do that. But the first thing you have to do is make a decision that you are going to live and you are going to express the fullest, greatest version of you. So bloom where you were planted. Start now. When do you start to live this good life? Is that the question you are beginning to ask yourself? You start now. Let me say that for the people in the back. You start now. Start by answering the following questions. How often do you pay your phone bill? How often do you pay your rent or mortgage? How often do you pay your grocery store? How often do you pay for gas for your car? How often do you pay your doctor? How often do you pay yourself? Let me say that again. How often do you pay yourself? The last question seems like a strange one, doesn't it? But do you realize that less than 5 people in every 100 ever pay themselves? And if you were to ask the other 95 why they don't, they would probably tell you that by the time they pay everyone else, there is nothing left for themselves. Do you know how demoralizing that is for your self-image, for your self-respect, for your self-esteem? Clearly, those 4 or 5 people in every 100 who do pay themselves have found a way around this problem. Although the idea which they are employing has been around for centuries, hardly anyone today is aware of it. What is that idea, you ask? Simply put it as this: they pay themselves first. That's self-respect, baby. Pay yourself first. That's not actually in the book. I just made that up, but it's true. Have a little bit more self-respect and cut yourself a bigger check. This is better known as the Babylonian law of financial success. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. You want to underline that, highlight that. Kind of inspiring to go out and earn a heck of a lot more of it, isn't it? If a part of it is now yours to keep. If you think about it, you must admit this law or principle makes a lot of good sense. Therefore, let me repeat it. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. More specifically, what you earn on Monday morning is yours to keep. So it should go directly into a special account that you do not have easy access to. Your financial independence account. What you earn on Monday morning probably represents 10% of your income. Therefore, you should pay yourself at least that 10% right off the top, not after everyone else has been paid. From your financial independence account, you first pay your insurance premium because that instrument creates your instant estate. The remainder of the money then goes into savings until such time as you have accumulated enough capital to make a wise investment. Remember, you do not touch this account or the interest it will yield. Therefore, within a very short period of time, you will witness sufficient progress to gain the motivation and inspiration which you need to continue. Moreover, the knowledge that you have an instant estate, if anything should happen to you, will give you additional serenity of mind. Orderly debt repayment program. You could already have debts that seem to be eating up your entire paycheck, leaving nothing for yourself. But understand this, these debts can be retired. Although the amount of debt you have incurred will, of course, determine the length of time it will take to clear the slate. And for the purposes of the following discussion, you must consider your mortgage or house payment, probably one of your largest monthly payments, as an investment, not a debt. Debt clearance account. Whatever money you earn Monday afternoon and Tuesday morning should go directly into your debt clearance account. This represents 20% of your income. You should also sit down and draft a letter which you will send to all of your creditors advising them of your plan. However, before you mail the letter, you should first draw up a list of your creditors to determine what portion of this 20% each of them would receive. It could conceivably be more money than they are presently receiving, or it could be less. But whichever way it works out, that will be the sum of the money they will each receive. Nevertheless, whatever sum they do receive, they will receive it regularly on the stipulated dates. The following is a sample letter you could use as a guide in drafting your own letter. Dear whomever, as you know, I am in debt to you for, and I intend to pay you in full plus interest. In order to achieve this goal, I have been devising a plan during the past few days to put myself in a stable financial position. To this end, I've opened a debt clearance account, and 20% of my income is going directly into that account. That will enable me to have sufficient resources to live on without worry or stress, and it will prevent me from falling further into debt. Each week or month, you'll receive a check from my DCA until my account with you is clear. I'm aware that this is not the figure I had previously agreed to pay you, but I'm sure you will be understanding and appreciative of what I am doing. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm quite excited about my new plans, and if you would like to have me review them with you so that you might help others who are in debt, I am pleased to do so. Thank you in advance for your kind cooperation. Have a wonderful day. Sincerely, John Doe. Understand that your letter to your creditors is a statement of fact and not a request. It is you who is in charge of your finances, not your creditors. That should be built into your self-image. It is you that are in charge of your finances. You want to build a strong, confident self-image of financial success. Be sure to have your letters neatly typed and enclose your first new payment with your covering letter. Realize there is an outside chance that some unreasonable person will not want to cooperate with you. They might even go as far as to phone you and attempt to intimidate you with threats of taking you to court, etc. But please hold your ground, because there is no court in the country that would not congratulate you when you have explained your entire plan for financial independence. I love this. I love helping people get financial independence. Oh, I get such a kick out of it. Moreover, you will find that 95% of the people to whom you write will be most cooperative. Now give yourself a good pat on the back, because as of this moment, you are well on your way to starting a completely new life. Let's briefly review what you have accomplished thus far. You have an instant estate if anything should happen to you. You have a savings account. You're paying yourself. You have an orderly debt repayment program. You have 70% of your income to live on, to run the house and for entertainment. Your mind is clear to carry on with the big ideas coming your way in the remainder of this book. From this moment on, never think debt again. You got it? From this moment, never think debt again. If I hear that word come out of your mouth, unless of course you're on a discovery call and you're telling me where you're at and where you want to get to, I don't want you to think it. I want you to think prosperity. I want you to think wealth. I want you to think abundance. I want you to think that more money is coming to you and you're receiving it now. Remember, we only have the present tense. We only have now. And go out there and create amazing service and believe that you are worthy of receiving more money in your account now. Remember, that has all been taken care of. This is the debt. So just focus on your savings account and watch it grow. I'd even go as far as to rename that your prosperity account, right? Savings is still accumulating money and maybe has a negative perception of you. I need to save for a rainy day. So I'd even consider changing the name of your savings account to your prosperity account, or cash account, or something like that has a positive impression on your subconscious mind of increase. Repeat this. I am wealthy, money is good, I use money and love people. You want to write that down, highlight it, underline it. I am wealthy, money is good, I use money and I love people. Metaphorically speaking, getting your present finances in order is very similar to having your automobile tuned up for a journey which you're about to take. I think this is a really important point. I might have touched on it yesterday. If I don't teach you how to work on the root cause of these things, I can certainly teach you how to earn a hell of a lot more money and do it in harmony with the law and have a bloody good time doing it. But if you don't have your mindset right around money and finances, you still won't have enough. It's like trying to take the car out on a big journey of growth and you haven't tuned it up or taken it to the mechanic, and it's not going to be able to perform the way you want it to perform. Realize that as of this moment, you are tuned up for your journey. And although you might be earning X number of dollars per year presently, you must see yourself on the screen of your mind already earning the annual income which you have calculated you need to buy the things you want in order to live the way you choose to live. And you have to start to think and act like that person. You must make decisions and take action today like that person, like you've already got the money. If you are seriously interested in becoming financially independent and you have not yet acted on the preceding ideas, I would strongly recommend you do so. For to continue on to the next chapter without having done so would be comparable to leaving on your journey with your car firing on only half of its cylinders. I got another story. I might get to that. You can be almost certain that your automobile will break down, preventing you from reaching your desired destination. But by making certain that everything is properly tuned up, you can relax and adopt a calm, serene attitude, knowing that you will get to your destination, and you will certainly be able to enjoy the scenery along the way. If you find that the task of getting your financial world in good order for this exciting journey is something which you are not able to do alone, I would strongly suggest you seek out professional assistance. This is something that almost all wealthy people do. That is to say, wealthy individuals follow the advice of financial experts. It is similar in principle to the idea that if a person's body was sick, he would likely seek out a skilled physician for advice. Moreover, you should also keep in mind that even healthy people, if they are wise, periodically go to the doctor for a checkup. In other words, you do not always need to get sick in order to get better. And I love that. You don't have to be broken to get better. You don't have to be sick to get better. You don't have to be getting bad results to be able to get even better results. You don't have to be broke or living in poverty to want to earn more money. You could be currently earning a super healthy income, but you want to earn more money and you want to have more freedom and you want to live an even better quality of life. So just accept that. We're not here to talk about this because you're living in poverty. We're here to talk about this because you were born rich. And right now you have talent and ability and potential within you that you failed to develop. And I'm here to teach you how to do that. But it does rely on you making some committed decisions and investing some time and money in yourself. It has already been brought to our attention that very few people ever develop real expertise in the areas of serious financial planning. Do you know that? Here's a funny story. I did my degree at university was a graphic design and communications degree, I think, because I wanted to start a business in that space. And I did start a very successful design and branding business. I'd previously studied a bit of nursing. I wanted to be a doctor. And so I got some credits for my nursing subjects, biology and different things in my design degree. And I still had some electives to do. So I actually did, I think, 1 or 2 financial planning electives at university. And it was so much fun. I learned so much around financial planning. I mean, I didn't ever do anything with it. It was just 1 or 2 electives at university. But it's so true. Very few people ever develop real expertise in the areas of serious financial planning. And by no means am I an expert at that. There are people that are very good at it. So if that's an area that you need some guidance in, then reach out and speak to somebody. I have, even in my client group, phenomenal clients. Like, I attract some of the most highly skilled, loveliest, kindest people you'll meet anywhere in the world. And even in there, we've got bankers and mortgage brokers and financial planners and doctors and lawyers and all sorts of people. And that's what I love about it, that you get to do business with like-minded people. So that's one of the perks of becoming a coaching client of mine. Therefore, you should seek out a competent financial counsellor in much the same manner as you would seek assistance in matters of a legal nature. And I think it's really important to work with someone who understands this and who is open to really helping you in this way. And again, that's the benefit when you start to study this and you become a part of my community and you're really invested in growing and really applying this material seriously in your life. Your network shifts and you realize that you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing this every day, who are making really big, beautiful things happen from all walks of life. And just imagine having this inner circle of people to support and guide you across all areas of your business and life. And the common thread that links you all is that you've studied this. You've studied thinking into results. You're doing the work with me day to day, week to week to improve your own personal performance, but you get to connect with each other and mastermind and do business together. I mean, it just makes every day such a great day for you. There are companies that provide this type of financial service in every city. In some places, they are not too easy to find, but they are there if you will only look for them. I had the pleasure of being instrumental in a startup of just such a company in the city of Toronto, Canada in 1979. The name of the company is the McCrary Group. Today, the company has almost 5,000 happy clients who are well on their way to financial independence. The McCrary Group makes all of its clients very aware of an interesting financial fact, which I would like to share with you at this time. This fact is people fall into 3 distinct categories with respect to finances: deficit position, in debt; break-even position, just getting by but debt-free; surplus position. It would be very easy to trick oneself into believing that if one were in category 1 or 2, all one must do is earn more money, and then one would automatically graduate into the 3rd category. But of course, this is not necessarily true. For if a person is in a deficit financial position, it means they are in the habit of spending more money than they earn. Similarly, if they are in a break-even position, they are in the habit of spending everything they earn. Since we are all creatures of habit, it follows that earning more money would not necessarily change our overall financial position. It is vitally important that when you decide how much is enough, you also design a new financial plan or have one designed for you, which will force you to discipline yourself. It's also really important at that point in time, you also design a new mindset model that will support you in creating new thoughts, beliefs, and habits that support you in having more than enough. Because again, you can have the perfect financial plan that on paper says that you will have more at the end of the day, But if your mental programming is still set to not having enough, you will never have enough. Okay, you also design a new financial plan or have one designed for you that will force you to discipline yourself for at least a month or two until you form the new habit of living by that new plan. And that's where that new mental programming comes in, really upgrading that paradigm, your money paradigm, your use of money paradigm, your ability to earn money. All of that comes into this and is 100% as critical for financial success, wealth, and independence as it is as just being able to go out there and earn the money. In fact, you will actually never earn the amount of money that you are capable of until you do that inner work on you. The next chapter, the image maker, will help you to understand how and why you must begin to see yourself already earning that new figure. But for the time being, just bear in mind that as your income increases, the 10% you are saving increases, and the 20% that is going to your DCA increases, which means that you'll be able to retire your debts faster. Furthermore, you will then be left with 90% of your income on which to live. I can see you getting excited by that idea already. Think about that. Think about if you were to multiply or triple your income and then be in a position where you can live on 90% of that. Think about how much freedom you would have, not only financial freedom, but time freedom most likely. Really start to think about that life that you would be able to create with that kind of money coming in. Like really play around with this idea and permit yourself to really get into this wealth and prosperity consciousness. And like I said at the start of the call, if you need some help in really identifying how much is more than enough and getting really clear on those money goals and going through that exercise of looking at the different areas of your life and identifying what it's going to cost you to live how you want to live, not what you think you can do. Like, what do you really want to spend on restaurants and clothes and travel and cars and education and all of those things, then put a note on the chat thread now and just say link to the PDF, or I'd like the PDF document. And I've created a 5-part process for you, 5 things you must know in order to set your money goals. You work through that and don't delay in doing it. Like, do it today. Do it in the next 24 hours before we get to the next chapter. This is a defining moment in making a decision and acting on it and getting that information. So if you just comment on the thread, and we can get you that PDF for you to download and use. And that'll give you a really solid figure of what it is that you want to earn and why you want to earn it. And like Earl Nightingale said, most people think they need more than they do, and they settle for a lot less than they could have. Earning money happens by law. It's 100% based on law. And so as you identify what it is that you want to earn, you can start to then learn how to work in harmony with the law to receive that income in return for the service and the good that you're putting out. And I can teach you how to do that. So I'll leave you with that today. That is the end of chapter 2, a nice short little chapter for you there. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. And we're going to get into the image maker chapter, and I'll take you through that one. So if there's anyone that you know that you would love to be following along with these reading series, then share this video with them, tag them on this video. If you're not in my Winner's Circle Facebook group yet, then please head along and add yourself to that closed community where I share a lot of tips, guidance, and questions to make you think. And of course, if you know that you are ready for change and growth and your desire to change your life is more than your desire to stay, then it's time for you to join my coaching. Make that decision, reach out today, and we'll get you started. I'm Karen Brook. It's been a pleasure to be with you here today. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.